Okay. Let me just bring this up. GCAC, and it's appropriate to think about it in terms of education. And really, my journey in cannabis started in 2016. I ran one of the largest dispensaries in California, in San Jose, California, a company called Elemental Wellness. Then ran 2 dispensaries in Oregon, so I got to see, which were later sold to Harborside. I don't know how many people know Harborside, Steve D'Angelo, and the crew. So my training in the early days was really, I felt very fortunate. And then from that, I went into 3 years of venture capital work for a VC firm that funded a lot of the technology that you see in the cannabis industry. So the latest is a company that's about blockchain. And I don't know, in the audience, how many people even know what blockchain is or have heard of blockchain? So, okay. So blockchain is really a big file cabinet, okay? If you want to, it's been around since 1995. It helps secure evidence, okay? And we're starting to see evidence around digital coins and all that other stuff. We're using it to basically help educate the community and, more importantly, the customer about how the product got there, okay? So with that, let me just take you into it. So the question I ask everybody in this room is, when you look at the evolution of this industry, and as we look more towards this idea that we're moving more medical to recreational or adult use, I should call it, really, we're dealing with the stigma, you know, around why do we do what we do? Why do people come here every night to these kind of events? And then how do we educate those that follow? I'm constantly getting calls from people who say, you're in that industry, but I need help with sleep. I need help with back pain. All the things that Gabby just articulated in her personal journey, people are looking for that evidence and that verification. And unfortunately, one of the stigmas that we're dealing with is this plant, the cannabis. People just don't understand. They don't understand who the players are. They don't understand the benefits. They don't understand any of this stuff. So in the beginning, we used to be walked in by family and friends, right, to start using this product. Well, the biggest inhibitor for our growth as an industry is we really need to have something other than family and friends to welcome in the other 300 million people that are getting older and looking for solutions to help them with their medical journey. And so what we were thinking about is I want to consume this product, where did it come from, what effects and benefits should I expect? Heck, I'm putting this in my body. Why do I want to put this in my body is the number one question, right? So, and we're also dealing with these kind of marketing efforts, okay? This cracks me up, but this is true. How many people are still talking about this, right? I mean, that's their idea of marketing, and that's certainly not the answer. Yeah. Yeah. But I was just at a conference in Toronto called LIFT, and the same questions are being asked there. Now, Canada has a more advanced medical program. In fact, if you're a veteran, Health Canada will subsidize your cannabis purchases, like you submit for insurance, okay? But one of the things that the questions that were being asked were, well, what are the current users looking for in the product consumption, right? And we talked about effective, safe, reliable, premium, and potent. Because anybody who's been taking cannabis knows it's inconsistent all the time, right? And Kate O'Hara, who joined me recently, as she heads up our VP Biz Development, we have a great table out there, by the way. If you haven't been out there, we have all these gift bags out there for everybody. But one of the things that we're talking about is how do we ensure the consistency and the potency and the delivery of the story of the grower to the consumer, okay? Really, what we find in the industry is growers are growing and there's 6 degrees of separation from them to the consumer. So how do we connect those dots and then bring that feedback to the grower? So if the grower thinks they're growing something that really helps with back pain, and they're finding actually it maybe helps them more with sleep, well then you think they might want that feedback, right? So this is the ecosystem that we're creating for it. Now what's surprising is this is what non-users want. They're curious, all right? But I'm going to define the profile. There are several in the room who will understand what I mean. Safe, effective, healthy, reliable, something as form of a treatment without going, because what doctor do you know that can help you with some of this stuff? And I'm sorry, I'm not going to trust a 20-year-old behind the counter when I got a pill deck that I'm trying to balance, right? And then frankly, something that can be recommended by a medical professional. Those are the data points that we're all looking for because that's the generation we grew up in. But we also have bigger spending power. We also are looking for solutions that are not drugs, right? And so those are the things that as a group. So the company GCAC stands for Global Cannabis Applications Corp. We're publicly traded under the CSC, under ticker symbol APP, APP. What they've invented, and this is something that gravitated towards me, is Tim. I've known Tim now and Gabby for a couple of years, is I went in from the waste side and how do we deal with repurposing waste and recycling and making sure waste got to the proper place. Well, I got to tell you, in California, they weren't interested. And the reason why they weren't interested is because that's how they got into the black market, okay? All you had to do in metric was designate something as waste, nobody checked, fill that duffel bag, throw it in the back of the truck, and there it goes into the black market. And you wonder why the black market is 10 times larger than the regular market. So what we wanted to do, blockchain allows us to identify basically all the bad actors and also validate what they say is true with the evidence on the blockchain. And that's important because if that gets captured in this QR code, when that consumer sees it and touches it, they're going to get comfort. Because when I frankly look at a product on a shelf and I pick it up and I go, I don't know who they are, fly-by organization. But if I pick up a product and I can see, wow, look at this, they're doing these things, they're craft growers, they do this with organic soil, they use recompostable packaging. That's going to really help my comfort level and drop those walls in terms of being able to consume that product. So it starts with this thing called KYC, which is Know Your Customer. And basically, everybody has to attest. This is something the stock market uses. So if you're a broker or something, before you can post something, you have to be validated. And it's a process you go through, you take your picture, then that image and information gets shared with the bad actor list. Okay? Now, you could pass, and if you post stuff on there that's BS, you're going to get flagged as a bad actor. So again, it's helping us as an industry clean up our act. And really, for the good players, show that we're delivering a quality product at a quality time, okay? So all this means is, all this breaks down to, we feel the blockchain really helps build trust. And that's the magic word for us as an industry as we move forward. And this not only applies to the cannabis industry, but also applies to the hemp industry as well. So how does it work? Let me see if I can do this. So basically, it's really fast. He's taking a photo of himself. This is like on speed dial. He's success, and then basically he's into an app. So this is an app you can download from the Apple Store or the Android store, easy for me to say, all right, and be able to start participating in it. And here's another. So what happens is the process, again, we're not a compliance tool. We could be. In other countries, South Africa, we're being used by growers of cannabis to reduce their insurance crop risk. Underwriters are accepting information that's on the blockchain to help. So if a greenhouse fails, not because you suck at growing, but because you had a collapse of a roof or something, the insurance underwriters know what's happening. We also just signed a deal with the Humboldt Growers Association in California. We'll be launching them by the end of June. Reason why they're coming into our system is for two reasons. One is they feel they can get a higher price per gram than all the other biomass that's out there. It's like the old analogy, Napa Valley grown versus Fresno. Coming from California, Fresno is like table grapes. Napa is the environment, social, right? So that's the comparison. They don't feel they're being able to tell their story, and this is an application and tool that allows them to do so. The other benefit, which they're very excited about, is in Canada, I was hearing about craft growers who produce their product, get shipped to the Ontario distributors, and they wait 9 months before they get paid. 9 months. They're also wondering why their product is considered crap. Well, I'm sorry, whoever grows cannabis no matter what you do, even if you take the latest and you're farming each little thing, 9 months, your product is going to taste like crap, right? And so they're getting a bad rap for it. So this allows them to track and say, like, look, this product sat in a warehouse for 5 months, non-air conditioned, nothing, right? And then so then they get paid. So what I'm getting to is we're also going to be offering them a digital coin. So the digital coin allows investors to fund some of their inventory costs while they're waiting to get paid for the final sale. So investors using a token will have the ability to fund and help growers get some of their cash flow going. In the traditional world, banking, that would be considered receivable financing or inventory financing. You go to your bank, remember those? And you would say, listen, I've got this much in product that's out there, $500,000 in product. You know, advance me at least 30% against my final sale. This gives them the evidence. So what we're finding is, outside of the US, we are becoming more of a required tool, even for import-export. We have a Colombia seed company that has $500,000 in seed, wants to export to Europe. They're going to use our product to be able to show that they're a legitimate, authorized Colombian grower who's now exporting overseas, so they can track the seeds and how it's been used. And it's all through a QR code. So at the retail level, the consumer can click on the product and then provide the feedback loop that I was discussing earlier to the customer. So we call it seed to seed. All right, and so that's how we're envisioning this piece here. So we can capture then all the customer feedback on that product. All right, so again, more information, more knowledge, more transparency equals what? Greater trust, right? And that's really what we're dealing with. So stopping the fakes, building trust. I read a report the other day, it floored me. 15% of the seeds, you know, this whole world now of supply chain has gone upside down, right? Ukraine, you hear about hemp and all the other products. 15% of the seeds we're selling, or people are selling, into Africa are fake. 15%. So how do we cut that nonsense out? Africa, and Kate has a great contact down there called Hello Tractor. What we're looking at is how can we help these organizations become better food baskets for Europe? You know, because the whole supply chain has been turned upside down, right? And so having the evidence of genetics and everything else. So caring about sustainability is our next evolution. This is when I joined the company, is we want to be able to help. We're seeing millennials are placing a 3 times greater emphasis on ESG standards than other non-products, okay? 80% of the general public are not willing to buy a company from a low ESG score. ESG stands for short, environmental social governance. SEC is requiring in this country now all public companies to have a sustainability report. Many of it is a word salad, a lot of pictures, happy faces, look what we're doing to save the earth. Where's the evidence? Okay? Canopy just laid off 25 people out of their sustainability group because they spent $500,000 on producing sustainability reports. We're like, yeah, you can't spend $500,000 when you're losing $4.5 million, okay, as a pubco. So we're offering a solution that's a fraction of that cost, but helps provide the evidence that's needed. So these are some of the things about ESG. You know, you can see here under environmental, waste management, energy usage, water usage. Some of the people I've spoken to here tonight at the event have been talking about, like, how do I show my dispensary as being more green? How can you help me educate the consumer that we pay a fair wage, that we pay, you know, we have women in management, big topic, or minority management, okay? We have a diverse board. Frankly, it all under this umbrella, we've grown up. We're no longer the guys underneath the football stands conducting business, okay? And that's what we do. So this is our ESG product. And from left to right, you're going to see we have the 3 tiles, this is called. And we have things about reducing waste, reusable packaging, recyclable, supports biodiversity. And then what happens is you simply, using your phone, you upload the information and then you notarize it. And guess what? Now that's on the blockchain and available to the consumer. So this is the sustainability premium. 79% of consumers are changing their purchasing preferences because of ESG. We're seeing this big time in Europe. Saw a company putting their packaging on fragrances, perfumes, and things of that nature. Seeing a 186% increase in sales because of ESG. People in Whole Foods are flipping outside the boxes to read the labels now. They want to know more where this is all coming from and how it helps them. So this is the world we're now moving into. When we say we want more adult use, it comes with adult responsibilities, right, Tim? I mean, in terms of, it's time for the big boy pants now. And so to be a brand operating in this new world, I don't know if you realize there are 8,000 CPD brands out there. Now, how the heck do you differentiate yourself, right? And these are the ways that you can show that you're a leader, you're mature, and you're developing, you know, for a time when, frankly, if you do it right, your brand will be sold out of a CVS or a Walgreens and not just a dispensary. So with that, this is who we are. Kate is, you know, Kate will gladly talk to you and anybody. She'll, you know, ask her about her birds, the bird campaign.
Wait a minute, I want to ask, how many people got a token in their cards? Got a token. This is original to you. So your story is original. That's what he's saying. We will tell your story.
And that's the whole thing about the blockchain is again, it's that storage device, but it's also your ability to communicate. When I went to the Cincinnati show, it was interesting. I'd walk up to a table and people anxious to show me their gummies. Okay, that's great. Tell me how you got in this business. Why are you in this business?
Right.
All of a sudden, everybody lights up. Well, that's a different
not.
engagement. Well, then how do you capture that same engagement all the way to the consumer and share that joy, that passion? And that's really what we're about.
Yeah.
So,
I know.
yeah. So anyway, with that, thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
I learn something all the time from you.
All right, well, thank you so much, Steve. We're gonna go ahead and move on to our next sponsor, Jo Riesinger, if she would come up. Jo is from a really interesting solutions provider called CanGrow that has just entered the Ohio market, and she's going to tell us a little bit about CanGrow.
Hi, thanks for having me tonight. I'm going to make this short and sweet, but we are a new startup company. We started in January, and my boss, Jim Walker, is very well known in the distributor network with outsourcing and all kinds of product and vendors that he dealt with. And he was consulting at one point in his career recently, and it was in the cannabis industry, and he kind of thought, wow, there's nobody out there helping the cannabis industry managing their inventory. They're ordering all these different products from 15 million different vendors, and they're all showing up on the same day, and somebody has to stop the business and figure out what's in what box, et cetera, et cetera. And he came up with the idea with all his contacts in the inventory process that he wanted to start a new company that specialized in the cannabis industry only and was going to be the source of all your supplies that you need for the growers and the processors. So you would place an order with us, we would go out and source it, we'll ship it to you in the appropriate times, whether you've already started your business and you're active or you're starting, you know, opening up a dispensary from ground one. We can help you with that process. So we've got a great new website out there. We're researching for customers and getting you on board and just helping you manage your daily activity through your inventory. So, you know, when you're not going to run out of gloves, right? We have great sources with the glove manufacturers, the sticky pad manufacturers. We're getting relationships out there to help you manage your inventory and save money and make a profitable business. So that's kind of us in a nutshell.
Awesome.
It's a great concept. We're getting some great, thank you. Thank you.
It's great to have you, Jo. Thank you. And it's cangrowsolutions.com, and you can check them out. And please, if you are in a role where you do inventory ordering, as I did for 12 years, in a roll, and I ordered from all sorts of different suppliers, and having one supplier, especially a cannabis-related supplier, is really interesting to me. So I'm excited to have CanGrow joining the Ohio market. And please, if you are in that position, reach out to Joe. And wonderful, thank you, Joe. And next, I would like to have Gus from Dutchie up.
Hey everybody. I'll say I will be with Joe here and also err on the side of keeping things short and sweet. So,
Or super chill here.
Dutchie is a retail point of sale and online ordering software company. So what we do is we have a cloud-based solution that's going to allow you to track, manage your inventory from the point of sale side. We're also allowing patients to place orders while you still have a menu that is compliant with the state of Ohio standards. So I think some of the folks around here have been working with us or are familiar with us in the state. Me personally, grew up in Parma, Ohio, went to high school in Brunswick, college in Wilmington, so I have Ohio roots and I like to come back to them, I like to help out. So I've been working with established businesses in the state who have been around for a few years since the medical program started. I'm also talking with and working with some of the new license holders that were just awarded a few weeks ago, helping them get up to speed, learn about what's going on, kind of the best business practices that they can start to use and how Dutchie systems can help them do that. So if anybody has any questions, please feel free to come over and say hi. I've got business cards, I'll give them to you. But yeah, what I would say is just check out Dutchie.com, put in the zip code, check out the dispensaries that are on there and see their menus. That's how we do things. We'll pass them seamlessly onto the dispensary to fill it quickly. And we're also just kind of making everything more efficient. So yeah, that's my spiel. Keep it short and sweet. And yeah, thank you guys so much for your time.
Awesome, thank you. I will just say, I noticed recently one of my dispensaries that I go to frequently just added Dutchie in their menu, and it's so much easier. So thank you, Gus, for coming and telling us about Dutchie. And next we want to talk to, is Jeremy out here from Pharmaceutical RX?
Here he is.
Oh, there he is. I thought you were out that way. All right, Jeremy from Pharmaceutical RX, and he'll tell us a little bit about.
Yeah, thanks everybody. Good to see you all. It's great to come to these events and see several familiar faces and meet new ones. And thanks to Gabby for putting this together, and Cleveland School of Cannabis for hosting. Gabby and Lydia hosted the holidays event,
Yep.
and that was one of the first events I went to as an industry employee. I've been a fan of the plant, pretty much most of my life. Also dealt with pain most of my life. So, and a professional and personal relationship with both cannabis and the pharmaceutical industry and products. I was a pharma rep for years, so it's really cool to be full circle and get behind something I truly believe in that really has helped me and many people I know. So that's awesome. So we appreciate everybody and the efforts to keep the conversation moving forward, breaking the stigma, and normalizing what we're doing and what we believe in as medicine. So thanks to all of you for that. So as far as Pharmaceutical RX goes, I'd like to share just a little bit about my why as well. I mentioned the pain thing, in pharmaceuticals, opiates, throwing in pain, every time, especially in the 90s, you go in with an injury, you get pain medicine. Well, I ended up going back and back and back and getting a lot of pain medicine. And then in the mid-2000s, utilizing whatever truly cannabis I could get my hands on to come off of. So that's really why I'm here, and I want to help people avoid that, or, like Gabby, get off of it and, come around to something more natural and, really beneficial. So the reason I'm with FRX and what attracted me to FRX, Pharmaceutical RX, we're out of Pennsylvania originally. Now we've been growing in processing there since 2019. Launched our dispensary in East Liverpool, about an hour west of there, in 2019. And then just last fall launched our processed products. So we've got local edibles, chocolate, open mind gummies, and tree farm cartridges, and Rick Simpson oil. And we just brought our newest partner, Huxton Labs, on with full gram cartridges. But really, those things aren't what initially attracted me. It was about this, their commitment to providing, and it's a great segue from Steve's presentation about transparency. Everybody says it, you know, we all want to be transparent in what we're providing to you and your loved ones, but it's easier said than done. But this is what attracted me, the commitment to living soil, grown flower, doing it right with, you know, a commitment to mimicking nature as closely as possible. So, you know, our experts here, our director of cultivation, Nick is here. You can talk to him, ask him questions. And our clinical team, Joe Jeffries is our lead pharmacist. We're a pharmacist-driven company, right? So Joe can really help folks talk about finding the medicine that's going to help them. And Marcos, our dispensary manager, they'll all show themselves eventually. TJ's at my equivalent in Pennsylvania. And Jane Scully's our director of new markets. So we've got an amazing team. We're so excited to be a part of this market in Ohio and really bring the living soil product to Ohio now and really just embrace this market and become a part of it. So we appreciate being here and all that you're doing as well.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Jeremy. Oh, Jeremy, do me one more favor. Let's go ahead and do a raffle here. This is for all of this stuff here. What do we got? Ed Marley. It's always him. He always has it. Gosh. All right. Oh, I'm going to do another one. Jim Patterson? Jim. All right. Great. For you, Jim.
You're gonna bring it to me?
I'm bringing it to you. Yeah. Awesome. And now I would like to bring up a few other businesses and organizations that support our industry. I would love to, first of all, let me give a round of applause to Anthony Riley from Ohio Cannabis Live. Thank you. His media service is a wonderful one. It's nice to have a different type of media than MedicateOh, which is more long-form journalism, whereas he does a lot of lives on YouTube. So it's wonderful to have us both together and working collaboratively tonight. So thank you, Anthony. And I'd also like to introduce, is it Perry? Perry, that's right. Come on up, Perry, and tell us about UFCW.
So I am an organizer with the UFCW International. We're the United Food and Commercial Workers Union. We are, and then I am in exclusively the cannabis division. I was a cannabis worker in New Jersey. I worked for Zenleaf, which is Verano out of Chicago. Luckily I was an organizer and I was on the committee there, and that's where we unionized our shop. So we actually unionized the grow out there as well because of the LPA, which was really nice. I just think that the cannabis industry will benefit greatly from the UFCW being unionized. Just giving workers a say at the table, workers good benefits, education, you know, a living wage, because a lot of the times they're coming in and they're just paying poor wages, and so we're definitely getting on more improving the wages for workers.
Awesome.
Yeah, I think that's about it. I'm really excited to be in this industry, and I never knew that I could be a union worker in the cannabis industry. So it's something, you know, it's a really nice thing to have on there. So thank you,
Awesome.
guys.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Karen. And if your dispensary is or if you work at a dispensary and are interested in their services, you can reach out to them at ufcw.com. And Joe.org. And look them up on MedicateOh. We did a full story about some of the cannabis dispensaries that have unionized. So thank you for that. Spender, we would love to have, if you'd like to come up and talk about Spender, you're more than welcome to. Or if you want to hang back, you're welcome to do that too. I think you all know about Spender. Oh, there you go.
Yeah, sorry.
Come on.
Our founder couldn't be here. He's officiating his brother's wedding. He's usually our spokesman, so I have not prepared a speech or anything, but he would love to be here. Great to hear from you guys so far. If you haven't heard of Spender, we are the first cannabis payments and rewards app. So, there are some other cashless cannabis options out there, but we are trying to combine actually earning rewards. So the more you spend, the more money you get back. And also just make it the most user-friendly, intuitive experience. Right now, if you've used any other options, they can be very clunky and slow. Or with cash, having to go to the ATM or pay those extra fees. We just want to kind of address all those problems and make it not only easier but safer. What we've heard from a lot of our customers is that they don't like carrying all that cash in the dispenser because people know you have cash on you. So if we can prevent that, make the whole industry safer and more efficient, that's what we're striving to do. So if you ever want to see a demo or learn more, please talk to Ryan, Austin, myself. We can show you the app. It's very user-friendly, sorry we can't show it on the screen, but yeah, if you have any questions, please talk to us. Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks again to Spender, and we are an official Spender partner merchant. So if anyone wants to sign up for Spender, you can get things. You can get discounts for MedicateOh events, T-shirts, all kinds of things. So we are excited to be partnering with Spender. And I want to thank all of you for coming tonight. And we have some more food out there. And please continue to mingle and get to know each other. And we will see you at the next one.